All English Podcast.
Hey friends, I'm Ella, and welcome to this English podcast, the place where we learn English through ideas that change how we think and live. Today's topic, something we all struggle with. How do you do the hard things when you just don't feel like it? You know, that moment when your alarm goes off and you say, just 5 more minutes? Then 5 turns into 15, and suddenly you're like, well, maybe I'll start my new life tomorrow. Yeah, we've all been there. Doing hard things, going to the gym, studying, working on that dream project. It sounds easy when you're motivated, but let's be honest, motivation doesn't last. So today, we're going to talk about 1. Why we naturally avoid hard things. It's not your fault, it's biology. 2. How successful people train their mind to do things even without motivation. 3. Practical steps you can use today to become unstoppable. Ready? Let's dive in. Let's start with the truth. Your brain is not designed to make you successful. It's designed to keep you safe. When you think about doing something uncomfortable, like starting a business, learning a language, or even just going for a run, your brain goes, danger? Pain ahead. Let's stay on the couch where it's safe. This comes from our ancient brain. Back in prehistoric times, comfort meant survival. If you stayed near the fire, you didn't freeze. If you avoided danger, you lived longer. But today, comfort doesn't save you, it traps you. The same instinct that once protected us now keeps us scrolling, waiting, overthinking, and doubting ourselves. So here's the first big idea. You can't wait to feel ready, because your brain will never let you feel ready to do something hard. Have you heard of Mel Robbins? She's one of the world's top motivational speakers, and she came up with something called the 5-second rule. She was in a dark place, depressed, broke, unmotivated. Every morning she'd hit snooze. Until one day, she saw a rocket launch on TV and thought, what if I launched myself out of bed like that rocket? So the next morning, when the alarm went off, she counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just moved. That one action, just getting up before her brain could argue, changed her life. Now she teaches millions this rule. You'll never feel like it. Do it anyway, within 5 seconds. Simple, brilliant, because action creates motivation, not the other way around. Here's the science part. Motivation is like a spark. It feels great, but it burns out fast. What keeps the fire alive is discipline. Think of motivation as emotion and discipline as decision. Motivation says, I feel like it. Discipline says, I'll do it anyway. When you repeat that pattern, doing things even when you don't feel like it, you train your brain to trust you. That's how habits form, and habits are just proof that your brain has accepted a new normal. So the real art of doing hard things isn't about forcing yourself. It's about training your brain to make hard things feel normal. Let's imagine you go to the gym after months of not moving. The first 10 minutes feel like torture. You're sweating, your legs hurt, your mind screams, why am I doing this? But if you push through, by the end of the workout, you feel powerful. Not because it was easy, but because you did it anyway. That's the paradox of growth. Hard things don't get easier. You get stronger. You don't need less resistance, you need more resilience. So, next time your mind says not today, remember it's not a sign of weakness. It's just your brain doing its job. Your job is to do yours anyway. You don't need motivation to begin. You just need to begin, and motivation will follow. Let's talk about something most people don't realize. The difference between feeling like it and doing it anyway. That's where every great story begins. Nobody wakes up excited every single day. Even the most successful people you admire, the ones who look unstoppable, they all have days when they don't want to move, speak, or even show up. But here's the secret. They don't rely on feeling good. They rely on showing up. There's a quote I love. It says, "You don't have to be amazing to start, but you have to start to be amazing." Most people never start because they're waiting for the perfect time. But perfect timing is just a myth. There's never a perfect day to do something uncomfortable, doll. Think about it. Do you remember the first time you learned to drive or spoke in public or tried something scary? You were nervous, unsure, maybe even terrified. But you did it, and that's when the magic started. That first uncomfortable moment is the door to growth. You just have to walk through it, trembling but walking anyway. There's a story about a writer who made a deal with himself. He said, "I don't need to write a masterpiece every day. I just need to sit at my desk at 8 a.m., no matter what." And guess what? Most days, he didn't feel creative. Some days, he wrote one sentence. Other days, he wrote 10 pages. But because he showed up, eventually he wrote a best-selling novel. That's the point. When you show up consistently, you build a bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. And every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you're sending a message to yourself. I can trust me. Let's get practical now. How do you actually do the hard things when your brain screams no? I'll give you 5 powerful, simple tools. Tell yourself, I'll do it for just 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes of studying or walking or cleaning or writing. Your brain hates big things, but it can handle 5 minutes. And once you start, you usually don't stop. Action creates momentum, and momentum kills laziness. If your phone is next to you, your dreams don't stand a chance. Move. Change your place. Go somewhere with less noise, more focus. Sometimes it's not about lack of motivation. It's just the wrong environment. Don't say, "I have to do this." Say, "This is just what I do." For example, instead of saying, "I have to exercise," say, "I move my body every morning." Small words, big difference, because rituals feel natural. Struggles feel forced. Don't focus on how hard it is to start. Focus on how good you'll feel after doing it. Your future self will thank you. Imagine that sense of pride, peace, relief, that moment when you say, "I did it." That's the feeling you're working for. Most of us are experts at negative self-talk. We say things like, "I'm lazy," "I'll never change," "I'm not disciplined enough." But imagine saying that to your best friend. You'd never speak to them that way, right? So talk to yourself kindly, encourage yourself. You're not lazy, you're learning discipline. You're not behind, you're just beginning. The voice you listen to most is your own. Make it your biggest supporter, not your biggest enemy. Let me tell you a few stories that prove this works. Story 1, Kobe Bryant. Kobe wasn't born talented. He was built by repetition. When he was a kid, he played basketball every day from 4 a.m., not because he felt like it, but because he made it his identity. He once said, "I don't negotiate with myself." That's power. Story 2, J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global success, she was rejected by 12 publishers. She was poor, single, and hopeless. But every night, she wrote one more page. She didn't feel inspired, she just refused to quit. Story 3, you. Yes, you. If you're listening to this right now, it means you care. You want to learn, grow, and become stronger. That already makes you different. That already means you're doing something hard. You're showing up for your own growth. The art of doing hard things isn't about strength. It's about honesty. Being honest enough to say, "I don't feel like it, but I'll do it anyway." And you know what's amazing? Once you start doing the hard things, your brain begins to trust you, your energy rises, and life slowly opens new doors. You become someone who doesn't wait for motivation. You create it. So next time you catch yourself saying, "I'll do it later," remember, later is where dreams go to die. Do it now, do it small, do it scared, but do it anyway. Because the life you want is hiding right behind the thing you don't feel like doing. Thanks for listening and for choosing growth, even when it's hard. See you in the next episode.